The next HTML tag we're going to learn is the table tag, how to create tables in HTML coding. So first thing we have to do is figure out what would be the purpose of creating a table. Well, why do you think we need tables? Maybe to organize the information better, make it look better on a piece of paper or a web page, helps to make things easier to find, possibly. Okay. So with a table in HTML is very similar to how you would do one in Word or Google Docs. You have columns and rows. Columns go up and down. Rows go across. Think of it like this. You're at a movie theater. You walk across the rows to sit down. Okay, columns. Think of the pole, the column that holds up the ceiling to the floor. Okay? When a row and a column meet, it creates what is called a cell. So what we're going to do now is you're going to learn the tags that go along with the table. So what you see here is your basic tags. You have your doc type, you have your HTML beginning and end, you have your head, you have the title tag, and you have your body. Right here, this is just the title of the page that's centered across the room, or centered across the form, excuse me. And then H2, which kind of like us is a subtitle. So let's go ahead and save, and let's see what this should be. All right, so here we go. So here is our table, here's our subtable. All right, so let's go start right here. So obviously, if we're creating a table, we need to let HTML know that we're creating a table. So that tag would be table tag. Okay. Same concept, you need a beginning and an end. Very, very similar to when we created our lists. You had an ordered list and an unordered list. The OL and the UL is just to tell Microsoft, or excuse me, HTML that we're going to create a numbered list or a bulleted list. In this case, we're creating a table. So you need the table tags. So, as I stated earlier, a table is made up of rows and columns. First thing we're doing with HTML is you declare your rows first. So, what do you think a table row tag would be? Got it. TR. You have a beginning and an end tag. All right, so inside here, for a typical column for the columns or the information, okay, what tag do you think would create the information for the columns? It is not a TC, I'll tell you that. It would be a TD for table data. Again, you need a beginning and an end tag. This is what's creating the columns, okay? Anything in between will be displayed in your row for the table. So let's go with colors, okay? Over here, we're gonna create a second column. So we need another TD. Let's say items. Okay. And for the third one, let's say foods. Okay, and that would end our final column. Okay, so let's save it and run it. And this is what we have. Okay, doesn't really look like a table yet, does it? No. So let's come back here. So that's the end of the first row. So let's add another row. So you have your beginning tag and your end tag. Okay, so TD tag, let's just say red. Okay, beginning and end. Okay, next one, because if you think about it, this should be the same or correlates to this, just like a column at a time. So an item, what's an item that is red? Let's say fire truck. They're red. That works. Next one. What food is red? Let's say an apple. Yeah, I know they're different colors, but we'll stick with a red apple. Okay, so let's click here. Let's run it. And there you have the things kind of lined up, kind of like a column here, column there, and here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come back here. First thing we need to do is we're going to add what's called an inline CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. We will learn a lot about CSS next marking period, okay? But what we need to do is we're going to add some things just to make our table look a little prettier. And these are called inline cascading coding, okay? So in here, after the word table, we're going to add a border. And we're just going to say 5. Then we're going to add some cell padding. Okay? With the cell padding, what that does is kind of cushion the information around within the block itself. And then we're going to do a line. We don't need to change the alignment right now. So let's just save it. Let's run. So there, now you have what looks like a better table. Okay? All right. Now, let's go back to our table. I'm sorry. You can't really tell the difference of these two rows, can you? This should technically stand out because it would be like the titles or the headings of our table. So instead of a TD here, what tag do you think could change it so it looks like a heading? Maybe a table heading? So what tag do you think would work? Maybe a TH here? Heading tags very similar to like your heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Looks a little different, looks a little better, okay? Notice how there's space around the words. That has to do with the cell padding. And obviously the border puts the lines there as well, okay? So right there you have a quick little lesson in regards to table tags, a row tag, table heading tags, and table data tags for your columns.